just give a little background. I started at BYU actually as a student in 1974. I worked actually started as a student in 71. I started in my job at 74 as a student. I worked 2 years in my position. It opened up full time. I've applied for one job in my life. Okay? And I'm still trying to graduate. So I graduated in September after 40 years. And so this organization, this is just a PR push for this organization. I can't tell you how wonderful this organization is, and I'm going to show you why as I show you some pictures and some of how many people I've copied to get good pictures. I joined this organization. I actually heard about it from Lou Arnold from Samford, and I got a flyer in 1981 is when I joined UPAA. What you don't know, this organization was first set up by industrial photographers. That's what that's what they're commercial industrial photographers. They're not anything like you were. The first founding fathers of this organization basically built gear, built things. They didn't go to the store, didn't go to Roberts. None of that existed. If they needed something, they made it. And that's kind of how this organization, they got together and they shared ideas. They shared all sorts of elements in making their gear to make it work. Nowadays, we have it easy. If we have something, we just adapt it. We go buy it. Someone else has it. It's really so easy. And so in the process, this organization has been a wonderful help for me through my career, and it will be for you the same way. We started out film. I shot 25 years of film. In the last 15, I've been shooting digital. I just want to show you this. This is our Brigham Young, it's a statue on campus. This, if I had Photoshop back then, it would be so much easier. This is not a Photoshop shot. And this is an in-camera masking technique. Has anybody done in-camera masking? Yeah, okay, all the old people know what in-camera masking is, okay? This is shot on 35, so it's not shot on 2 1/4 4x5. So 4x5 makes in-camera masking easy. 35, I'm telling you this so you understand how easy you got it. Okay. So we load a roll of film in the camera, okay? We pull it tight, I made a mark inside my camera of lining up with the film with the mark inside my camera. I shut the back. I put on a lens. This is probably an 80 to 200. So I lit Brigham up. This is our statue. Brigham up, shooting at 80 to 200. I shoot a whole bunch of varieties. I back up. I do it, keeping an idea of where I have neutral black space, okay? Then I get to the end of the roll of film, I rewind it, but not all the way. And we get to the end, we put the film then back in the camera. Okay, find that mark that I made, line it up so it's registered. Put on, this is about a 300, I think it's a 450, I had a CC on it. So, and then I change it, made another exposure, ran the whole roll of film, just shooting the Y. That's our Y lit up, we do it at homecoming. Yeah. So, isn't that amazing? It only took me about 3 hours of shooting to do this right, Photoshop, you do it in an hour now. And I want you to know, this is, understandingly, I haven't always looked as wonderful and wise as I do now. This is how I used to look. Okay? And, I guess I was younger when I shot Nikon. So I was at a basketball game, my Nikon F something. F2, I think it was, yeah, F2 with a 304 lens. That's the fastest I could get. And so often, last year we went to Michigan. I don't know about you, but were you envious of their space, those who were there? Let me show you where I've spent 25 years of my life, okay? Because we're here now, you think we're great, we have all this wonderful stuff and da-da-da. This is the beginning of my life. Okay, this is my dark room. Okay, this is my studio. See, I bring the background down. I light it there. Here's looking at it from the other angle. Okay, and then as I turn around the corner by the dark room. Okay, 25 years. So when any of you complain about the closet you're in or the small mini suite that you're in, okay, it has nothing to do with the space that you have. I want you to encourage you. It's not what you have. When I was hired on at BYU, I came with the Pentax K1000. That was the equipment that I actually owned. And it was a 50mm lens because I didn't know any better, okay? And so you don't need all that stuff. Because of my position at the university and what they really wanted us to accomplish, I had great opportunities. Each of you will have opportunities. You choose them how you do it. I made a deal with our performing groups. We have performing groups that travel the world. Every summer they go out. We have folk dancers, modern dance, ballroom, Young Ambassador, which is a song and dance, and Living Legends, which is a Native American, Polynesian, and Latin American that do dances together. So I made arrangements that we'd shoot them during the semester. I'd shoot all their headshots, I'd do all their publicity shots, and in change, they'd take me on a tour. Okay, I'd go every summer with them. So my very first tour, well, not my very first tour, my very first tour to China was in 1981. I only throw this up. This is 9 years after Nixon actually opened up China, and China was so wonderful. I've been to China now probably about 6, 8 times, and it's nothing like this. Nothing like where every time you turn a corner, you see this wonderful creative shot, this wonderful thing. And now they're all kids with T-shirts and cell phones, and it's so totally different. As we talk, again, you have to understand the creative mind behind what we do at BYU is we try to do something different. And we started our whole approach of doing portraits for our athletic teams. Okay, we started in, I'll show you this video. We started in 1984. We decided that the athletics people came to us and said, we need to sell more game programs. What can we do? And we came up with the idea of doing collectible center spreads, And so we made some suggestions. I did a whole series of photos for them. Let me show you, this is a KSL, one of our local TV stations did I'm just going to show you how we do it. It explains it. So basically, again, we'll go over the idea, and that is you're going to be breaking through the wall. No offensive line is going to stop you. You're going to be able to just, you're going to crush probably a couple of bricks in your hand, maybe one snapped in two. We'll try a couple of different variety of things.
It was not the normal pregame briefing that BYU nose guard Lenny Gomes is used to. Big number 90 is accustomed to crashing through walls all right, and the Outland Trophy candidate has scores of tackles and sacks and hurries and even a couple of interceptions to boot. But his collection of trophies included nothing like the one that BYU photographer Mark Philbrick was about to award him.
I want to make sure we see your number and everything. I guess we could put one of those in your mouth too, but I don't.
For the last 9 football seasons, Philbrick has chronicled some of the most notable features of Cougar football and the man who created the dynasty.
Over the years, we've been talking about what Lavelle can do as quarterback, as a quarterback factory, and so this is how we envisioned it. We took him to a factory out at Geneva, found an old place and positioned then, and had about 15 minutes to shoot this shot.
The shots make up the collectible centerfolds in the game programs at Cougar Stadium. Heir Apparent, featuring Robbie Bosco, was his first. Over the years, his pictures have featured the Beef on the front line, defensive line coach Tom Ramage, and the Nab and Tackle Choir, and such Cougar notables as Ty Detmer, Peter T., and Derwin Gray, the Extinguisher.
I think they're just part of history. I think they show a different part of football than just action shots.
But his shot of Lenny Gomes was going to involve a good deal of action.
Lenny, all righty, on the count of 3, I want you to break through. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Good job. Okay. If I can get your head up just a tad more. I just want it so because the bricks are falling real nice, and that looks real good. That's good. This can look good. This can turn out nice. I like the brick on the back side. And, that looks good.
The shot involves special lights and special effects and some help from the BYU drama department.
But what I think I'm going to have you do is have a few of you stand on the side, and maybe we'll throw some bricks up there so I get a little motion. We'll have you stand on this side so we throw the bricks this way, and we'll just have some bricks coming in the foreground.
There are dozens of takes and hundreds of exposures before the keeper, but the work has its rewards.
To realize that I'm working around some of these great people, the Steve Young, the Robbie Boscos, there's Lavelle Edwards. There's just some history here that we're preserving in a different way, and I think that's wonderful.
Lenny Gomes was preserved for history as the centerfold of the Notre Dame game program at Cougar Stadium. The caption read, "The back stops here," but the look in Lenny's eyes says much more.
Watch Cougar football on Channel 5.
As you get in. So this is the final shot that we used on the poster. Let me tell you, I hear a lot from you. Okay, entrance of our sign of our campus is the world is our campus. Jared and I believe that the campus is our studio. Okay, on a project like this, I'm going to tell you about this. On a project like this, was shooting some drama stuff, and I saw them making some brick walls. They have a vacuum form thing, and they're making these brick walls. And I says, I need a brick wall. I got a shot idea. And so I talked to the production guy, and he says, oh, yeah, we can help you out. And he assigned it to his class that he was teaching. He needed a project. So the class that was involved here was part of an educational process for them building a set and then working on a photo shoot. So it's kind of like, it didn't cost me anything because it was part of an educational program. And they all volunteered, and so we all pulled this together and have it happen. You know, this was the very first one that I did. We went out to Hill Air Force Base, and this is the middle of the day. This is the worst lighting in the world. I'm in the HR and the PR person's in the Hill Field. She opened the window, and she looks out there, and she says, okay, there's your F-15, I think that is. Where do you want it parked? 16. Well, where do you want it parked? Where do you want it? Okay, and so I walk out on the tarmac. The runway is just right behind it. We have airplanes taking off. I was trying to get them in, but they couldn't get them in. And I had them position it here. I was trying to use the sun, use everything I can. So all this is set up with the colonel standing over my shoulder. Like, ah. And again, we have to adapt. We have to adapt to shots. The original photo was Robbie Bosco, which is our new quarterback. Steve Young, you've probably seen on ESPN and stuff, those who follow football, you know. He was supposed to be there. They're going to be heir apparent. They're going to be passing a football. It was a double-seater. I was going to have the hood open. They're going to have them passing, giving the football, passing from the co-pilot to the pilot type thing. It was really a dumb idea. But he decided he needed to go do a $7 billion contract or something that he was receiving. So we just had that. So what we do, we got so much cooperation. This is probably one of my most famous pictures ever taken by me, okay? And I only say that, this is Lavelle Edwards. He was tagged a lot of years ago with turning out these wonderful quarterbacks that were performing in the NFL. As I went to Geneva Steel, we had a steel mill nearby our house. I had done some work with them, so I knew the people. And so I said, I need to take a picture, something like this. And so we went touring around, and this place, it's a sheet line, and these are rollers here, and it was just covered with muck. It was just, I said, that's where I want to shoot, because I needed this. You can't see it, but there's rolls here, and it's really cool looking. And they said, no, I can't do it. I said, oh, I need it. This is exactly where. I said, I need to have some quarterbacks standing on here. Oh, I can't do that, because those are rollers. He says, okay, I'll bring in some plywood and lay them down. They're always saying no. I was saying, oh, yes, we can do it. We'll do it this way. Oh, yeah, we can do it this way. And finally they agreed, and actually they brought the plywood in themselves. When we got there to set up, we got there 2 hours before, actually 2.5 hours before Lavelle was supposed to show up. And they says, okay, we'll apply the plywood there. Oh, but you can't do anything because they were painting the background for me. They'd hosed this all down. It was spotless clean as much as it could be, And so then Lavelle comes late, okay? And he says, Mark, I got to go in 15 minutes. Okay, so this is a quickie shot. There's probably about 10 lights lighting this up, okay? All in different positions, different things. What I love mostly about this picture, and again, we've used it, it'll probably happen again this year that a TV station will want to run it because we've used it on natural broadcast, on newspaper. It just gets used over and over again. But they from Geneva Steel brought out this hat and said, Lavelle, we'd like you to have the hat. I wish I would have thought of that, But they brought out the hat. This makes the picture, the hard hat, okay? So the cooperation we get, this is, I had sweet light. It was sunset. It was one of those wonderful lights, set up. You do it wonderful. Everything's great. And we were setting this up, and they get a call, okay? And they said, excuse us, so we break down. An hour later, it got dark, and just the cooperation that we get with people. The background, we wanted a volcano. He's a Hawaiian kind of guy, so we wanted a Hawaii feel. And so we went to our recycling area. This is actually compost. In the background, I had them with a backhoe dig out, making me a little volcano fill. We brought some lava rocks in that they just had laying around. It was really kind of cool. And about 5 gallons of rubber cement. If you want good flame, rubber cement is the key, okay? I just want you to know that. It sticks to balls, it does all sorts of things. Actually, it even wipes up. You can blow it off. It's great, great stuff, okay? That was fun. We always played on names. I'm just showing you something. We played on the name of our players. We played on things, you know. This is actually our athletic director. It's the greatest, best use of him ever. We stuck him in there. It really was. And, you know, we use Buck Fever, Jason Buck, you know, just kind of some fun things. Leon White. So we got a white truck, you know, yeah, night diesel. David Frutrell was his name. So we use all sorts of things to do it, to try to just, and these, okay, and if you can see, all these pictures had this little photo by, okay. If you do anything, I can't tell this anymore, you put your name on everything, okay. This whole series has made us able to go anywhere and take pictures, to get the cooperation we need, because you may not shoot athletics in here, but everybody looks at these pictures. And we were able to get indoors, we were able to get help. All these pictures didn't cost us anything to take. They were all, people donated. People were anxious to do things. The meat lab, you know, everybody opened doors for us. You know, we had a car donated, this is the Hitman, okay? Our linebackers. Okay, let me tell you the sad part. Great. Isn't that great stuff? Great, you know, just great. You have to say that. But then we get a new art designer in there, and he says, oh, this is so old-fashioned. So this is what we're doing now for the last 9 years. Okay, really boring. This is our very first behind the scenes. You know, we talked about doing behind the scenes videos. We do them all the time. Some of you have seen these. We really believe in selling ourselves in more ways. And so here, I'll let Jaron explain this to you. This is our very first behind-the-scenes video, okay?
Today we're shooting pictures for a press release. We're going to do an illustration on piggy banks. The release is about bankruptcy, so we thought it'd be really fun to take these beautiful pigs and destroy them. So what we're doing is we're taking our flashes connected with the new Pocket Wizard TT5 and Mini TT1, and we're syncing our cameras at 1/8,000th of a second to get some nice stop motion. And we're trying to freeze the action of the pig hitting the ground and seeing the pieces and the coins fly everywhere. So I think it's a really fun idea, and we're going to have lots of fun.
Porgy is my favorite.
Yeah, look, the head separation there, the legs are smashing, look, the coins dropping out, some flying up above.
Come on, go.
Okay, the behind the scenes got more hits than the actual story did. Yeah, we used the pictures for the story of the Briggs, and this actually got more hits, more notoriety. But things like this opened, again, more doors for us because they say, oh, you can do some stuff like that. In the process, we start about being creative. We have a creative team, and it's mostly Jaron and I. As we talk about, you know, we have the editors come to us, say, oh, we need a story, and there's usually a really boring story. And one of the stories we did that they came to us is, well, we got the top math recruit in the nation. He's the top #1. Who cares? You know, it's math. You know, who pays attention? Okay, and so we basically came to the idea, let's treat him like we treat an athlete, and so the title of him is Mathlete. You know, so we did a whole campaign. We did it for 3 years. This is the very first set of pictures that we did. And so in the process, I decided, okay, this year is going to be graffiti. Okay? We're going to do them, they are going to be graffiti artists. Okay? This is just what they do when they're hanging out at night, because they're not normal people. And we take this set of pictures was taken the same place as the pig was. It's a loading dock of our Museum of Art. And so I'll find anything that I can and make gobles, I'll make anything to shoot for just to try to make it work. And this is the setup for basically what we were doing. And then beautiful things happen. We got some great pictures out of it. And then as we're getting ready to be finished, my friend Bob comes by and we take this. Okay? Okay? Just love, okay. We take pictures, we never take one picture. Okay? If I can't think of 3 or 4 or 5 shots to do on any story, then I feel like I'm failing. Okay? And I hope you guys do the same thing. I hope there's never one setup in your shots. I hope there's always more than one. I hope there's different angles, different looks, different feels. And it's all done within a matter of a half an hour. One of my favorite pictures that I love that I shot a number of years ago, I've waited about 6 years to shoot this for the fall leaves for us and the river to work out together. Still, again, I don't know why. All my pictures are about 15 minutes because that's how long she could stay in the water. She was freezing to death. Okay, but again, to show you that I'm not opposed to making the sacrifice. This is how I shot it. Okay, and I did not drop the camera. Okay. Let me show you a series. Last year, I went to Jordan with our president. He's doing a European trip. It's a brand new president. We convinced him that we needed to go do some international pictures with him. So we sent him out. We were in Petra. This is the Adair Monument in the background. He went out there and with a couple of our students that are doing some work out there. He's a survey thing. But when we were there, this is a week in June, we went to a Bedouin dinner that night, and these are the stars. I want you have to appreciate this. I saw this and going, oh, because I knew I was coming back in a week. I shot for a week with him, came home a week, and then came back to the same dig to do an archaeological dig. It was crazy. We ran the numbers. It's cheaper for me to fly home instead of staying around for a week and then fly back. So remember those stars, that's important. This is the Adair Monument, and the archaeologist we're working with, she's trying to preserve, this thing is getting eaten away by wind and dust and rain and all sorts of stuff. So she's doing some conservation work, some studying how to preserve that from happening. So as we're there, this is a sunrise actually, we were told how great the sunsets were, okay? And so we decided, we pushed, we begged, we got permission to stay in the park overnight, okay, to be able to do some things. So I thought, oh, great, there's some things I can do. So I'm preparing now. So we're there overnight. The sun's starting to go down. We were told by the locals how spectacular the sunsets were, how absolutely amazing the sunsets were, okay? And so I'm going, okay, the sun's getting a little lower. I get a little bit different vantage point. I'm just climbing around mountains. And then the sun goes down, and that's about as colorful as it got, okay? It's just flattened out. And we're up on the mountain, and one of our Bedouin people says, oh, there's a sandstorm over in Israel. That's why it's not happening, because, it's just blocked out the sun. You just lost it. Okay, so step 2. Okay, again, I'm always thinking, what are you going to do? You got to do the same thing. What are you going to do? I'm going to stay overnight. Okay, I'm going to do light painting because Dave Black taught us how to do light painting, right? Okay, and what do you need to do light painting? You saw those stars before. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to get some cool stars. One thing I didn't count on. Okay, so in the process, I have a full moon that I'm owning. This is the time I'm here. Okay, and so in the way it worked, okay, this is moonlight. Okay, this should be totally black. You should not be able to see anything. This should be totally black. This is moonlight. So I had this much time. It's about an hour or so, a little more than an hour before the moon moved around and got in front. I said, okay, I can do this. I can work with this. It's not like I wanted. The stars aren't shining, but I can make this work. So I went to Costco before I left and got that, Dave, the pen that Dave mentioned, the flashlight that's shining, the LED, really bright, really nice. And this is my first picture, and it's so, it was like the Haunted Mansion, And I did it again. I'll do a different one. I'm dying here. This is, I made all these promises, have all these ideas for these pictures. And then I thought, okay, I'll get a little closer. There's me standing out there. I've got my camera on a remote, and I'm just doing the painting it's getting better, actually. As I get a little closer, a little bit better. Okay, and then I thought, okay, let's move to the side. I had another camera set up over here. I had 2 cameras set up, all with my remotes. And I'm just painting away, and just finally I decided, okay, I'm not going to fight it anymore. This is what it looks like without being lit painted. This is one of the pictures we ended up using was this one, being able to put the moon in there and trying to make it work. So I said, okay, 2 strikes. Okay, the moon came in front, and that's what I'm going to run this series. This is a little time-lapse series that I did with the moon rise, or moon set. I guess it's a moon set. To see what this is all moonlight, nothing else. And you'll see, pretty soon a shadow creep up here as the moon is setting. So there's 803 frames. Okay, this is why I love UPAA, because I had 803 frames and I wanted to do the star trails. And so I checked with Robert Jordan's article that he did on star trails and got the program that he recommended. And then I put together this picture with 803 stacked, okay? Again, with just all straight moonlight. Okay, UPA has so much value to us. Take what you learn here. Please take what you learn here. Okay, was it last year or the year before? Which is with the pixel stick? Last year? Okay, a bunch of just crazy people out playing with their friends out in the parking lot area, doing some things. We had some angels out there. So you've seen the pixel sticks. You know what the pixel stick is. Yeah. Okay, toy, play thing. Definitely we can't do a rainbow and drinking beer at BYU, so this didn't kind of fit at our place. Okay, but we decided to buy one because we thought we could do something. I thought there's always something creative we can do. We had a gentleman who designed the Lady Liberty for a mint for the U.S. Mint. Okay, and we're trying to figure out how to do it. A little coin like this, and we've done those, you've done those, macro, all sorts of stuff. We decided to do a life-size Lady Liberty, so we used the pickle stick to create this. Okay, we had another story just to get our mileage out of it because you have more than one. Yeah, we had a guy at NASA who, so he pulled up a radar screen in the background, did the pixel stick this way in the background. And I also wanted to do a little different because he's doing airplane things, all sorts of things with the survey. Because this is supposed to tell you what flight patterns for planes are and how they control them, and it was boring screen, so we ended up doing that. Okay, I love you guys because you give me great inspiration, for pictures. This is from Eric. He won in 2014 in October Best of Show in the MIC. I fell in love with this picture. I thought, that is unbelievable. And how can I copy it? See, that's my role in life, is to take, but we don't have the high man. I couldn't do exactly the same thing. So this is what, taking his ideas that you should get from all of us, and this is what I ended up doing, is this version. Then our graphics department says, oh, you can't use the same girl, Mark. And so we replaced her with individuals from the team. Nothing's impossible. Let me tell you about this shot. This shot we won a couple years ago. The art director showed me a video of some men and women playing tennis, kind of like in a racquetball court with water. So the tennis balls had waters and they're hitting them and getting these nice things. He says, I want to do that with the gymnastics team. I'm going, they don't play with tennis balls and rackets. How does it work? And so this particular shot is actually at the end of all our shoot. After I've tried everything I can think of and do everything I can, I says, oh, let's do this shot. And this basically was toward the very, very end of our shoot. So some of you may have seen this, some of you are new, and I'll show you another behind the scenes of the making of these kind of shots. Okay, we're at the RB pool where we have our swim team, but this isn't our swim team, this is our gymnastics team. We decided to do something a little bit different, a little bit of water coming off, have some fun. The girls just really got into it. We had a lot of fun throwing some water at them. So just trying to get a lot of water movement, trying to not necessarily show faces, but show shape and water flying off the body.
You're going at 2 wide.
Too wide.
Catch.
Come on, Ryan. Lower them down almost to the rail.
I think we can do some fun things with this.
I like the flying.
So what do you guys think about this?
It's awesome. So far it looks good. It looks cool. I'm excited.
Give me as much water as you can pick up.
The hardest part is like getting all this water splashed all in your face and you can't see anything.
Timing, John, timing. Come on. Okay, now hit her. Now jump. Right down.
I guess I gotta look up more. Right?
Up a little bit more.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, up. They're gonna throw on 3, so. Okay, John, try to hit her. Okay, good, okay, good.
Oh, just ripped my pants. Oh, yep. Hey Ryan, do you have a car here? You want to run to my house and get some pants? No, really.
Okay, we have a lot of fun with these. And if you're not doing these, do them. Because actually, in the long run, this is just this wonderful stuff, okay? You each have the opportunity to do these kind of things. You know, we're not any special. You guys are great, great photographers. I think sometimes you limit yourself. I think sometimes you really do limit your ability to do what you can do because, oh, they won't let me do this or they won't let me do that. You know what? You've got the power. And what is the power? You've got the camera. Okay? You have the ability to take that camera and shoot anything you want to shoot. Okay? And shoot more of it and shoot over and over and lots and lots. And I know some of you have really restrictions of where you're at. I understand that. And you know, some of you have Cowboy Ken type of people. You know, that you have to, you know, you've got to work with these kind of people. Luckily, we've got a school up north that is our rival kind of. They, you know, everybody has one of those. And luckily, we don't have to shoot their mascot. Okay, but it's okay. We make fun of them. Okay, here I got that. We shoot a lot of football. Again, this is probably one of my most used football pictures. It's called the Bronco Rider. Won awards here. This one best to show here back in the 1800s. So it did good. We do photo shoots. Okay, you saw our photo days now. We call them posed action, all on white so the designer can cut them out. Let me show you how we do that. If you have any questions, this is Jaron introducing this.
Here we are for the photo shoot for 2015 BYU football.
I know you with me. Hold it steady. We about to lift it off the ground.
that was last year's. This year, Jaron wasn't with me. And so I spent 5 hours sitting on the floor shooting 8,000 frames of, okay. They use it, they cut them out, they do all that kind of stuff. If you noticed, we set up our Einsteins, we set up 3 heads behind a silk, and we turned the energy way down so that we had continuous shooting ability. Because, I noticed at the shoot the other day, we had to wait for the things to recycle, and you're going, oh, take the picture. Oh. And so this, we couldn't, it kept up with our motor drive without any problem at all. So if you're looking at trying to do fast, continuous action, get some Einsteins, throw them, bunch them together, and get some good shots. Again, I travel the world taking pictures of our performing groups as we do different things, looking for those different angles, service projects. I just came back from, this is actually in Samoa, I just got back this June from that. Part of what makes Jaron and I and BYU different is how we see things, how we interpret. I love artists. I love to photograph artists doing their things. And this is I was in Salzburg one day in the park there, and I came across this watercolor. And so I'm trying to understand what other people shoot and how they shoot and why they shoot. So this is him doing it. This is the scene that he's painting, okay? And then this is interpretation. That's what he's painting. I love to see how other people interpret. That's a wonderful thing. And then, of course, I always have to have my shot when I do this. So I ended up, this is my shot, okay? How I interpret him and what he does. Okay. Let me show, is that what I have? Yeah. Again, Trip. I'm gonna end with something. You can ask me questions afterwards, but let me first talk about a couple things. You are remarkable people. We see these guest artists come in and show us their wares, and you just go, oh, I can't be as good as that. You guys are better than that. You have the ability to create. You have the ability to see. Each of your universities are different. My university is different than yours, but there's no reason. And if I can encourage you anything else, don't crap out on your university. Don't tack it down. Take it and make it better. You may have the worst boss in the world, but it doesn't have to make the worst pictures. You can make the best pictures, and you can have the integrity inside of you to be the very best that you can be. And I think that's very important. And if you don't mind, as I travel, I'm just going to end with this little slideshow. We had a dean come to us from the School of Music, and he'd written a Christmas song. I'm giving you some Christmas in June, okay? He had written a Christmas song, and he wanted to take some of my pictures. When I go on tours and stuff, I go out collecting. I go prospecting for pictures, usually early in the morning or late in the evening after my official university stuff was over with. And I go hunting for, I call them peoplescapes, because I love shooting people. So he came to me and says, can we use some of your pictures? And I said, what do you want them for? And he told me, he says, we want just a few, because we're going to go to iStock and get the other ones. And I'm going, oh, no. I said, you can use all of my pictures or none of my pictures, okay? Don't compromise. That's what really what I'm saying here. You want a complete package for you. You just want, here's one picture and here's one picture, and they got this from somebody else and this from somebody else. I wanted to make sure that they used all my pictures. And so in the process, as I shoot these peoplescapes, there's 2 kinds of peoplescapes. We all know it. It's street photography. One is where you're shooting and they don't know you're shooting. You're just capturing the moment. The ones I like are like this, where the audience, the subject, makes it the picture, is part of you in the creating process of making the pictures. That's what I love about this kind of work, is when they make eye contact, they're helping me create a picture that we can all look at. So let me basically end with this. It's a Christmas. I don't want to offend anybody. It's Christmas, so I understand I have Christmas words in it. So.
Was perfect love that came to earth, sent from heaven above to the world that Christmas night. Though just a child, he was God's own son, the Prince of Peace. He was the Holy One come to save us from all sin. Let all the world join in songs of praise, for he is come. Let your voice be raised to every father and son, every nation and land, everyone. Let there be love.
Let there be love.
Let there be peace.
Let there be peace.
Let there be joy to everyone this Christmas. Laid in a manger at the time of his birth, now he is king over all of the earth and the Savior of the world.
Savior of the
Come, let us worship him, and with the angels sing peace, goodwill to all men. Give glory to God in the
glory to God in the highest.
Let all the world join in songs of praise, for he is come. Let your voice be raised to every mother and child, like the baby so mild who brought love. He brought us love.
He brought us love.
He taught us peace.
He taught us peace.
Let there be joy to everyone this Christmas. Ooh, oh love, it was perfect love that came to earth, sent from heaven above to the world that Christmas night. Come, let us worship him, and with the angels sing peace, goodwill to all men. Give glory to God in the
Glory to God in the highest.
Let all the world join in songs of praise, for he is come. Let your voice be raised to every father and son, every nation and land, everyone. Let every heart
Let every heart,
prepare him room.
for the Savior is come. Oh,
Let there be joy to everyone. Let there be joy to everyone.
Oh,
Let there be joy to everyone this Christmas. Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
Yeah, we all need a little Christmas. There's 22 countries represented in those pictures. Because of BYU and the opportunities I've had, I've hit around 60 countries throughout the world. Being able to photograph, each of you have those opportunities at your university. Parting kind of words, there's money to be had. A lot of things, a lot of the trips, a lot of the things I do, my department's never had to pay for. Because there's people, all your universities have money. You just have to find the right person with it. And find a right way. You've got to prove to them why you need to be there. I'm always, every research shot I go on, I'm going, oh, when are you going back into the field? Oh, when are you doing this? Oh, when are you doing that? Wouldn't you be nice if, look, we can cover for you. I can do this, and we can do this. We're always selling. I probably have about a dozen trips. They don't all pan out, but I keep working it. I keep working it, and eventually they do work out, okay? I like to show this picture because, I am, after 40 years, I think it's enough. It's time to move on. And to know that, and to, as Corey said earlier, when he decided to leave the newspaper, he didn't want to do more. There's more to life than our jobs, but you're in your jobs now. take it to the full advantage. Use the resources there to make you happy, to make those around you happy by being creative, by being thoughtful, by being considerate. You know, we have, at BYU, we have very high integrity. You know, they expect, you know, we have code of honor. We have a number of ways that we have to be at our university before we can even be there. And you should do that with your job. I don't care what university you're at. I don't care if you're secular or private. It doesn't matter. It's you that matters. It's the integrity that you have, who you are and who you want to become. And like I say, don't succumb to crappy bosses and just poor situations. Make them better. And you can do that with your camera. I'm sure of that. Thank you very much.